And take a moment to relax onto our cushions. Thank you. Magic water appearing for me. And let's just take a moment to ground ourselves. So today I'm using my big bolster to sit on as opposed to my meditation cushion. And I want to kind of give a little bit of feedback that when you use something a little bit bigger, it can help, especially if you have tightness in your hips or anything in your knees. If you do something that's a little thicker off the ground, it can help to keep your spine nice and tall. But it can also be a little uncomfortable if you're used to something shorter. So, you know, whatever you decide to sit on, take a moment to just kind of ground your sit bones down, maybe move side to side, front and back, maybe, you know, readjust however you need to, and really get yourself grounded there. And then let's close the eyes, relax the shoulders, and let the hands rest on the lap or on the knees. Start to follow a few easy breaths, not really trying to control the breath in any way, just beginning to follow the breathing. And start with simply becoming aware of the space around us. Sounds around you, and it could be maybe you're in a very quiet room, quiet spot. Maybe there's not much to hear, but there's always some sound. The humming of the heater or the AC unit. Tapping of the window, on the window, a little bit of rain coming down. And as we settle into the physical body, we allow these sounds to kind of just appear and we take them in. We take them in without judgment, without framing, and without storytelling. Just simple awareness. Remembering that it's the nature of the mind to drive us into stories, into lines of thinking, ways of thinking. One feeds off the other. Before we know it, we're in a whole different movie setup, all from a sound we heard during our silence, during our stillness. So allowing the breath to just continue rhythmically here, almost like it's in the background. Let's do a few more calm breaths here, allowing the sounds to be absorbed by the body. And perhaps there's other parts, other sensations that arise for you while we're grounding ourselves. Maybe there's a smell. Maybe somebody's brewing coffee somewhere and you get a hint of it. Maybe you're near a vent and you feel the warm air rising up, touching your skin. Maybe the fabric of your clothing is giving you a certain sensation on your arms, your torso, or your legs. Just opening yourself up to whatever there is to experience at this moment. And reminding yourself that we are doing this without judgment, without framing, and without storytelling. You don't need to think on about any of these things. Simple awareness. Breath in the background. Calmness of spirit. Calmness of mind. And with the next exhale, let's allow the shoulders to really relax down, really press down, almost like you're guiding the elbows down towards the hips. And bringing the chin down towards the chest. Start to move a little bit into the neck. We're going to start a mindful movement today with our neck. So let the chin rotate towards the right shoulder. And then dip down back to center, chin rotates the left shoulder, and dips down back to center. As we continue this U-shaped movement with the chin and head, see if you can relax the muscles of the back. Engage instead the muscles of the front body, the abdomen, lower and upper, the obliques, kind of hugging your ribcage in. The back muscles are soft, as are the shoulders, the arms hanging heavy. And you start to notice if there's a spot where you might want to stay for a little bit of time, sensing and feeling through. And then maybe continuing on to the other side and seeing if there's a spot on the other side you might want to stay and sense through. Mindful movement is really truly about being introspective, just like we were saying before. Looking inward without the distractions of all the outside world. And slowly coming back to center. Roll the shoulders back, start to blink the eyes open, and then inhale, lift the chin, opening the heart. Okay, great. So we're going to start with a little bit of movement into the arms. Let's keep the left arm rested on the left thigh. And then let's take the right arm and extend it out towards the knee. So when we do this, a lot of times we feel like, oh, I'm going to pull this way. So allow that body to stay nice and straight and just let the right hand rest as far out onto the knee as possible. You start to feel a little bit of a pull into the back of the arm, into the tricep muscle maybe even into the bicep muscle. Just kind of see how that internal pull as you lengthen the arm feels. And then the left arm just hangs relaxed. Then we're going to turn the palm, face the palm up. And then maybe now you feel it more in the bicep. We're stretching out through the fingers, maybe a little bit into the inner part of the elbow. And then inhale, slowly bend the knee and bring the right hand to the right shoulder. Then let your right hand rest. And when I go to do this, a lot of times it's just a gentle feeling of the fingers touching the shoulder. And, depending on how you see or perceive your own experience at this particular moment, it might almost feel like somebody else's hand. Like you feel it in your shoulder, but you don't feel the shoulder in your hand. So just take a moment here with your fingers resting on your right shoulder to see what sensations come up. And the fingers are relaxed. And then inhale, start to lift the right elbow up. You're just pulling the right elbow up. I need to adjust your fingers a little bit here. As that right elbow rises up, about maybe halfway. Maybe you adjust your fingers so just the fingertips are on the shoulder, and you start to feel the muscles here in the top of your shoulder and your trapezius start to kind of tighten. You start to feel that they're getting a little stronger. They're not as soft as they were when your elbow was down. So just take a moment here, and then we'll move up and down from the elbow down towards the rib cage to the elbow about halfway. And you can keep the fingers pressed in one spot and notice how that muscle starts to engage and relax as you move the elbow. Or you can move it. Maybe rub a little bit, give yourself a little massage there. Either way works just fine. And then we'll go back up to that center space. Deep inhale, and with the exhale, let's rise all the way up towards the ceiling. So another hand slides down towards the right shoulder blade, and the elbow pulls up towards the ceiling. So this could mean a little bit of a stretch for you, but it could also just feel totally natural. And then you start to feel here as your right elbow reaches up, the sensations within the inside of your skin into your muscle fibers. Perhaps you start to feel a little bit of coolness or heat that rises up in the muscle fibers of your right arm. Take a couple of deep breaths here, acknowledging the sensations without framing, without judgment, and without storytelling. And then inhale, let's go ahead and extend that right arm up. The palm is kind of facing out towards the left. Fingertips are reaching up towards the sky, and this right shoulder relaxes down into its socket, so you're not pushing the shoulder up into the ear. And take a moment here. So as we use the effort to keep the arm extended up, notice which parts of your body are being engaged. Is it just your shoulder and arm muscles that are engaged to hold the arm up? Or is there more part of maybe your oblique, your rib cage, your hip even, that is allowing you to keep that arm extended and lifted? And then let's go ahead and release the left hand to the floor, and then inhale, stretch it up and start to fold over to the left. So you can keep that left hand planted close to you, or you can slide it away and soften through the elbow as you go a little deeper into your side bend. Keep your gaze forward and keep rotating your right shoulder back to keep your shoulders stacked one on top of the other. What we don't want to do is fold forward. You really want to keep the elongation and then soften through your elbow as you come a little deeper. And then lastly, as we inhale, let's start to rotate the head up, gazing up towards right bicep, reaching through fingers. And then exhale, let's go ahead and soften the right arm. A lot going on here in that right arm, so just feel yourself move through it. Again, no judgment, no framing of the experience, just being. And then inhale, straighten the right arm again. Lengthen as you exhale. Inhale, turn the head back to center. Lengthen as you exhale. Inhale, slowly pressing yourself back up to center. Notice that right shoulder should feel pretty tired by now. Exhale, rolling that left hand down to the back. So coming out the same way we went in. Finding that stretch there. Slowly exhale, releasing right elbow down about halfway. Taking a moment maybe to feel into your right shoulder, right side of your neck. And then exhale, release right elbow down. Keep the fingertips touching the shoulder. Close your eyes. Let your right elbow rest. Let your fingers rest on top of the shoulder. Steady the breathing. Come into this island of self, this place of safety, security, found within yourself. Breathing in the background, calm, steady, and rhythmic. And then exhale, let's go ahead and release that right hand and take the back of the hand all the way down to the knee, just how we came in. Straighten the arm, lengthen the fingers. As we come out of our arm work here, just notice the unfolding, how it changes from when we first started. And exhale, turn the palm facing down, keep the hands straight, just let the fingers curl over the knee. And exhale, soften the elbow. Good. All right, let's take both hands to the knees. Let's move the chest and the ribcage, just a little bit of rotation, a little bit of movement to the shoulders. We'll go ahead and move it to the other side. So left arm extends. Curl your fingers around your knee. Start to feel this already. Immediately, it's like, whoa, there's my arm. Just your arm is like welcoming you. Like, okay, there's my arm. That's how I'm feeling. And just notice, move your awareness up and down your arm here for a moment. Exhaling, we're going to turn the palm facing up, and then the same way as before, again, moving our awareness up and down that left arm. Kind of noticing anything, any little changes. Clearly, when you turn the palm facing up, that left shoulder starts to outwardly spin, outer rotation of the shoulder. Now the fingers are lengthened, the palm is open. And very, very slowly, very gently, start to bend at the elbow, letting that left palm rise up. And then taking your time, keeping the left elbow bent now, just trying to bring that left palm, left fingers to the left shoulder. And just like we did on the other side, as we let the hand rest, notice which side you connect with more. Maybe it's both, maybe it's neither. Letting that left hand rest on the left shoulder, gently, easily. You can relax the fingers once your fingers touch the shoulder. There's a bend at the wrist. And then let's start to move the elbow up and down. with ease and with control. And you can keep the left fingertips pressing down, or you can kind of move them and squeeze through your shoulder and your trapezius here. Squeeze even up into your neck as you move the elbow about halfway up and then all the way back down. Feel the sensation of your skin. How does your skin feel? Does it feel like it's hydrated and soft? Or maybe you're wearing a t-shirt. How does the t-shirt fabric feel? Just becoming aware of different things going on with your shoulder. Different movements trigger different sensations. And then we're going to go ahead and stop at the halfway lift. So stop at the halfway. Open the elbow out. So try not to bring the elbow in towards the front, but out to the side. And really feel the engagement here of the muscles. There's a place where the muscles begin to work. And usually it's about this halfway lift. Because we're using those muscles to hold the elbow and the arm in that place. And that's in this location of our bodies. And then slowly inhale, see if you can rise that elbow up and then let the left hand slide down towards the left shoulder blade. See what creates stretch here, what creates effort, what creates discomfort. A lot of times as we move mindfully, it doesn't always feel good or comfortable or pleasant. There can always be an element of discomfort and of effort, and that's okay. It's part of our practice. See what triggers for you within the discomfort or that effort. And try not to grip the shoulder blade with your left fingers too much. Let it rest, relax. And again, that maybe that sensation of heat or coolness starts to run into your hand. A little bit of a tourniquet effect happening here, which is really good for the wrist, for the forearm, for the hands and fingers. And then slowly inhale, we're going to start to lift that left arm up. The palm is now facing towards the right. And then notice the shoulder pull down away from the ear. So you don't want to push that shoulder into the ear, but instead relax it down. Keep the left arm extended. And again, the belly is drawn in, the rib cage is lifted, and the back muscles are a little bit more engaged here with that left arm extended up. If you can make the elbow straight, that's fine. But if you must have a little softness in the elbow just for tightness in the shoulder or whatever it is, you're welcome to make this in modification and adjust it to fit your body today. As we exhale, we're gonna as we inhale, we're gonna lengthen up, extend, release the right hand to the floor, keep it either close to your body as you fold over to the right, or you can extend the fingertips away and then soften through your right elbow. Find your length and your stretch here, pressing the left hip down, reaching the fingertips over. Keep the shoulders square. So again, try not to lean forward. That happens a lot. Then when you're ready, inhale, open your chest and gaze up towards your left bicep. And roll over here so that you can feel your deep side bend. As we exhale, let's go ahead and soften the elbow, letting kind of the hand rest down wherever it'll go. It may rest on your head, it may not. It may just kind of feel like it's hanging. Wherever you are, keep softening through that right elbow. Keep finding length to that left side. Easy breath. Nothing should hurt here, although there may be discomfort and there may be a little bit of effort. Inhale, slowly start to lengthen that left arm. Exhale, find your stretch. Inhale, gaze back to center. Exhale, see if you can lengthen one more time. Inhale, slowly coming back, rolling your right hand closer to your body, extending to the left arm. Exhale there. And then slowly lower down the left hand behind you, coming back the same way we went in, finding what's changed or what's become more difficult or easier now that we're moving back. And then exhale, lower that left elbow halfway. You can bring your hand to your shoulder again. See if anything feels different. Maybe with a little bit of movement, a little massage, or just being still, pressing into the fingers. And then exhale, lower it all the way down, and we'll hold here for a few moments, letting the left fingertips rest on the shoulder. The left elbow is now down, and the arm feels a little bit more relaxed. Calm the breathing. Steady the mind. And coming back out the same way as we exhale, we're going to release that left hand all the way forward and down, palm facing up towards the knee. Once the arm is fully extended, relax the shoulder. Stretch out through the fingers. A lot of times there's a sensation of kind of rushing that moves back to the hands. If you feel that, again, no judgment, no framing, and no storytelling. Just feel. As we exhale, we turn the palm now facing down, grab a hold of the knee with the fingers, and notice what changes here. Draw your awareness up and down that left arm. And exhale, both hands come to the knees, relax the elbows, relax the shoulders, maybe move the neck around side to side, maybe a little bit of a twist or movement, just with the head and with the shoulders, or with the head a little bit into the torso. And coming back to center. Okay, let's roll the shoulders back. We're gonna do a twist and a leg stretch, and then we're gonna come into our Sampion. So come off your cushion, if you're using one. And we'll start with the legs. So go ahead and extend the legs forward as if you're going into Dandasana position. So remember, Dandasana position is staff pose. You want to feel that your legs are fully engaged. If sitting upright with your legs straight is very difficult, remember you can always soften your knees. The engagement here is in the spine, so you want to keep the spine straight. Hands on other sides of your hips and press up to your rib cage as you roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through the rib cage as you tuck the chin under. Now, as you've been here for a while, maybe you can start to straighten one or both legs so that you can come into the full posture. The full asana has legs straight, quadriceps contracted, kneecaps lifted, heels flexed, toes pointing towards face, belly drawn in, rib cage lifted, shoulders back, and chin tightly, slightly tucked under. Palms press firmly into the floor. There's a full length of the spine and of the back muscles, full length of the belly and of the abdominal muscles. Steady the breath. There's that fine line between effort and ease. In yoga we call it sthira and sukha. So sthira is the effort we put forth in our asana. That's the engagement of the muscles, the gaze, the purpose. And sukha is the softness. That is the breath, the relaxing sense of being present here in this moment. Letting go of all outside worries, conditions, stimuli, circumstances. Right now, it's just you, your body, and your breath. And as we exhale, let's start to lean forward. Again, you might want to bend your knees here. Bring your hands to either sides of your knees, perhaps. Lengthening through spine, shoulders back. Exhale, see if you can tilt forward a little bit more. We're trying not to use the arms. You can keep your hands soft and just soften through your elbows. Start to feel a little bit of deeper stretch to the backs of the legs and into the glutes. Now, if your tailbone is tucked under, you want to lift up again like you were in Dandasana. Maybe bring your sit bones back. So really kind of move forward of your sit bones. And then with your hands relaxed on either sides of your knees, start to tilt. And maybe you can start to walk the hands closer to your ankles or your calves. And again, keeping the feet flexed, so you don't want to relax the feet. The belly's drawn in tight and you're tilting forward. So we're creating that stretch and it's happening naturally and automatically. You're trying not to hunch your back or round your back away, but instead lift up and exhale, fold. And remember, you always can soften your knees at any time that you feel you can really find your openness in your back body. And then let's just hold here for a few breaths. Go to your maximum. If you need to walk your hands a little further down, if you need to kind of adjust or wiggle yourself a little further down, go to whatever your maximum is. Close your eyes, settle your breath, and be here for a few moments. I love forward folds. When they're in a standing position, a forward fold can really help us regulate with our blood sugar, our heart rate, our blood glucose levels. It really does help in a standing forward fold. In a seated forward fold, they're very calming, and they help you to regulate kind of your nervous system. Makes you feel safe, protected, you're okay. And then inhale, slowly lift halfway, maybe straightening the arms, lengthening the chest forward. And then exhale, slide your hands back. Coming back to that same Dandasana position we were in a few moments ago. This time, notice how different it feels. Maybe your legs can be a little straighter. Maybe your chest can be a little bit more lifted and your arms a little stronger, pressing into the floor as the belly draws in tight. And exhale, slowly bend the knees. Let's take the left foot underneath the right hip so that the left knee is pointing forward, and then open that left knee out to the side. So we're just kind of tucking the right foot in and then sliding it over. And then let's bring the right foot close towards that left ankle. So now you're kind of making this little X shape with your feet and with your legs. We're going to hold on tight to that right knee, hold ourselves as close to the right knee as possible. You might start to feel a little bit of a pinch in your right hip, or maybe even into your left hip. So again, notice, become aware. You can hug your elbows, or you can just interlace your fingers, or just hold your leg. So now we're going to go for a little bit of a twist. So using your right hand, lift your chest and see if you can move it to the outside of your right thigh. By doing this, you hug that left elbow to the right knee. And now we can bring the right hand behind, lift up and rotate. Look over right shoulder. Stay here and breathe. So your right hip comes off the floor slightly. So you're grounded and rooted from the left hip to your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, rotate the body. Look over right shoulder. Deep inhale breath, drawing in. Exhale breath, twisting, finding your rotation, steady the breath. Another one, inhale. Exhale, slowly start to make your way back through the center. Release the right arm, give yourself a nice tight hug. And inhale, lift up, come away from the knee. Let's relax the right knee to the side before we do the other side, coming into a Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, and you can have the feet as far away from your body as it's comfortable, or as close to your body as it's comfortable. Anywhere in the middle is fine. This is a very gentle Baddha Konasana. We're going to hold on to the ankles, lift up through the ribcage, roll the shoulders back. Take a moment here to align your spine. And exhale, slowly start to tilt forward. The tilt may not go very far. It may just be like, freak, and then a quarter of an inch, and you're good. So that's fine. If you have the flexibility, bring your chin all the way to the floor and find your deepest stretch. If your flexibility is limited, like mine is, just go to where your body feels good. And remember, this is not about fitting a shape. Our yoga is never about fitting a shape. Our yoga practice is always, in every way, about your internal experience. What is happening within your mind, your body at this moment, in this time and place. And that's how we become aware. That's how our intuition rises. That's how we begin to have this conversation with our body so that we can heal and we can continue to stay in a healthy state or come into a healthy state if we haven't been in one. And slowly inhale, come back to center. Let's go ahead and take that right foot, take it underneath the left hip. And remember, we're going to slide that right knee to the side. Then we stand the left foot up, slide it in so that it's closing in onto the right foot. Once you're there, rotate your body ever so slightly so you can give yourself a nice hug onto that left knee. So you're pulling yourself close. Already here for me, I start to feel it into my left hip. I see that left hip starts to say, oh, okay, there's some engagement there. So then you find the sukha, you find the softness. There's an engagement there, but I can relax. It doesn't have to be tight. And then we're going to go into our twist. So wrapping that right arm around the left knee, left arm behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, begin to rotate the torso, drawing in through the belly, pressing into that left arm, looking over left shoulder. Calm mind, calm breath, hold here. Each inhale creates a little bit more lift, a little bit more space. And then each exhale draws you a little closer, a little deeper into your chest. And slowly exhale, coming back through the center, releasing and coming back to your hug of that left knee, drawing the shoulders down. And then slowly letting go. This time we'll open up the legs wide, like a V. The heels are planted on the floor and the toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to go ahead and either take your bolster or your cushion, place it right in front so that you have a place to rest your torso, your hands, and your head. And you can keep your chin down or you can turn your gaze to the side. Let your back round in this position so that there is no tension here at all, except for what's going on with your legs, your inner thighs, and your groin. So unlike our seated forward fold, this one is more softness in the shoulders, softness in the back. So we're not really working to lengthen too much. We're just trying to rest. The work is happening pretty much from the waist down. The feet are flexed, the quads are contracted, the legs are straight. There's a sense of moving forward and down with the spine, but it's gentle. And close your eyes, steady your breathing. If you've had your head turned one way and you want to turn it the other way, you're welcome to do that. We'll be here for another few breaths. And slowly inhaling, lifting up, pressing into your bolster, coming back up. And now we're going to go ahead and come to upright position. And we'll go ahead and make our way to our comfortable supine or laying down spot. If you do want to sit during the sound healing, you're welcome to sit as well. But I recommend lying down. One, it just feels good, and two, it allows you to really kind of connect with that sense of relaxation. So lying down, highly recommended. I think you'll enjoy it more. Remember, you can go legs up the wall. Any variation here for your body that feels good. Get yourself comfortable. I'll get myself comfortable so I can play the bowls. gently. Begin to draw our awareness out of wherever it may have gone, whether you fell asleep or you feel completely relaxed, and just start to add a little bit of movement to the body. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement too fast or too much. Just maybe a little bit of wiggling through the toes or nodding through the head. Take an intentional deep breath in, filling the lungs and expanding the chest and ribcage and belly. And allow that breath to softly, steadily exit the body. Maybe coming into a full body stretch, if that's something you feel your body needs or desires. Coming into maybe knees into the chest, hugging your legs into your chest, relaxing through your shoulders and back. Continue the depth of breath and movement of breath. And taking your time when and if you're ready, rolling off onto your side and coming up to a comfortable seated position. And as we come to an upright seated posture, again, the breath is just moving in the background here. It's a natural, rhythmic, steady pace. See if you can focus in on the sounds around you once more, just like we did in the beginning of our practice. Perhaps the vibrations of the healing bowls are still ringing within your body, allowing every cell of your body to feel awake, alive, ready. And now incorporate the sounds, letting them come in, receiving the sounds just like a microphone would, not out searching for them, but just allowing them to enter our field of awareness. See if it's easier for you now to separate yourself from the sound. See if the concept of non-judgment, non-framing, and non-storytelling, see if that makes a little bit more sense to you after the practice we've done today. And we'll go ahead and seal all the benefits of our practice, not only for ourselves, but for our families, for those people around us who have an influence on us and who we influence, as well for all the other beings on this planet, human and non-human, all the other entities that create life as an existence. All of the planets in the universe, the stars, really expand yourself to encompass all of creation. And as we exhale, let's draw the palms together at the center of the heart. Gently feeling the palm of the hand against the palm of the hand. Feeling the movement of breath through the nostrils. And we'll inhale for Om. Namaste.